Shaka Khan like sugar, because we like to sprinkle a bit of sugar over this show as well. So I got my first guest in the studio with me now, which is all about next month. Well, next month sees the release of 5 short films reimagining the visual legacy of one of Britain's most influential hip-hop artists, Ty. The cinematic series premieres during a special memorial event on the 17th of August at Brixton Blues Kitchen and is being hosted by friend and director Fusion, and he's in the studio with me now. Fusion, how are you today?
With an intro like that, I can be nothing but blessed.
Good. It's you. It's you.
In.
You know when people say that, I'm like, but this is you. It's like, we're just describing you. How are you? How are you coping with the heat?
You know what? I'm grateful, This is the best run we've had in recent memory. So whoever's complaining about it notching up to the top 20s or the 30s, you know what? These are good complaints.
I know.
Find
true.
a piece of shade, find a fan, but just gratitude,
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
For sure.
So we're talking about this special event that's happening next month. And I think it's important that we just get some context around Ty and what Ty meant to the UK music scene. Because even we were talking very briefly before about UK hip-hop. We kind of jump over that a lot, actually. So tell us about Ty and what he's meant to our British music scene and also to you and the community.
For sure. I mean, starting with, legacy is a living thing. When people transcend, what's left behind are people who miss people who have things they never got to say, and people who still have fond memories that they play back. So when musicians pass, they leave behind catalogue, they leave behind memories of concerts. So, Ty has left us in the physical, but his music lives on in the hearts of homegrown hip-hop fans. But as we were saying before, there were so many people who love garage, they love drum and bass, they love reggae, but they have no idea that Ty's music spanned across those genres, but he was deeply rooted in hip-hop and has such an incredible catalogue of music that the world needs to hear.
He really does.
Yeah.
And even for me, when I was doing my deep dive in and I was listening to some of his albums, firstly I was like, why haven't I come across this sooner? Because I love that old school hip hop sound, and I love it even more with a British accent on it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So even the fact when you're like, legacy is about living and living on, there's so many people that are going to be introduced to Ty through these conversations, through the music, and through the cinematic memorial event that will be happening next month as well.
You made my day. This is what it's about.
Yeah.
For the old school heads, we got the catalogue. We were at the concerts. I remixed some of his music. I wrote the sleeve notes for his first album.
Right.
And when we were kids, borrowing my dad's car, going to the first early raves, coming down the stairs like, I'm that guy, And we were trying to be somebody. And I remember him, Shorty Blitz, and a whole group of people that have really shaped hip-hop culture. We were just trying to be somebody.
Yeah.
And I loved his music so much. I was like, I will dub your cassettes. And I will share these cassettes with other people because I think you could do something special in the culture. Yeah. And it was that long ago. And I finally got my job as a journalist. My first break was for a newspaper called Echoes. I've been writing freelance. I finally landed a full-time job in the industry. And the first gig I got where I could write a story about somebody and I had editorial permission, it was him.
Wicked.
So, we've gone on this incredible journey, and I know him. But a young person posted the other day, he said, I am today years old to discover Ty. And that's what we want. We want people to go and discover. You were just playing Shaka Khan. It's like these artists, you see young people hearing that song, then they go back to the classics, then they hear the Kanye sample and they're like, oh, I didn't know I loved this.
Yeah.
And we need that because catalogs die when people don't play the music.
100%. And he's got a lot of music.
Absolutely.
Because the event actually is based on his 5 albums, right?
Yeah. It's called Pass the Torch. And Ty created this movement because as an elder statesman of the culture, he was seeing emerging artists come through and he wanted to give them some mentoring and share his platform. So I believe he built a relationship with the Jazz Cafe and he would really cherry pick artists that he thought had the skills, the integrity, the tenacity to be somebody in the industry. And I know an artist we both work with, a guy called Dirty Dugs or Dirty Goods, and he would have taken artists such that who were doing things in the grime world and embrace them. Say, come into our world and let me show my audience, my fan base, that I think you're one to watch. Yeah. So we're carrying that tradition on. So it's pass the torch. We're passing the torch for Ty. We've got artists that grew with him, artists that he would have recommended. And we're just paying it back to him. It's about letting him know his legacy lives on, but also that his ethic and his approach is something that we're going to carry on doing.
Yeah, because even when I would be in Brixton, you would see Thai painted on walls. You see Thai painted in buildings, and these are buildings that are like places for communities to come in as well. So it's like, also, even listening to his music, you can tell he had a message. He really cared. I was watching a video of Brixton Baby as well.
That's the one, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And you could just tell he just really cared.
It's a documentary of Brixton culture. You look closely, everyone in that video is somebody. You know, Benjamin Chenche is a phenomenal, one of our finest visual artists. And he's just an illustrator who doesn't get his flowers in the community as much, but he's the one who helped set up the Brixton Street Gym. And he's painted portraits of anyone and everyone in the culture. So he makes a quick cameo in there. So many characters, So Ty was literally saying, listen, let me use my art to share more stories.
And before we go on more specifically about the event, where you can tell us like everyone that's been involved and stuff, because you were there with him when he's like creating a sound and really establishing UK hip hop here. Take us back to that time. What was it like? Because I mean, now we've got so many different genres, we've got so many music artists, but I can imagine back then it wasn't that easy to go and make music and then get people to listen to it. And you would have your, you know, you would have your fan base as well, but also his music reached worldwide.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. When you look at the catalogue, we're talking, he's worked with Tony Allen, who would have worked with Fela Kuti, legendary West African, you know, sounds and vibes. De La Soul, you know, pioneering rap group. They took him under their wing and really saw him as a kind of a brother from the UK, right through to the mighty Omar. Eska, Vula, these queens of soul and funk. Ty's worked with all of them, but he came from a genre where we were dwarfed by American culture, man. You know, it was a love-hate relationship because you grow up to Public Enemy, Big Daddy Kane, NWA, eventually people like Nas, but you can never imagine being that level of success. You know, when Run DMC is on that stage and they're there filling a stadium, how do you imagine being that for the UK? And people like Rodney P, London Posse, Ty, Black Twang, they just dared to dream. They were like, we have to do it for us. First thing, we had to get the accent right, man.
Yeah. Oh,
you know?
Thank goodness. I was reading through the comments and they were like, yes, finally we had the British accent. They were like one of the first to actually bring the British accent. 100%. I think that was the real game changer.
Game changer. You know, shout out to London Posse, changed the dynamic. We were rapping like it was American, but if you listen to music, you will play like the artist you love. So if your instruments are vocal, you will rap with the inflection. Now, like I see Liverpool rappers, like, and their accents popping, but they had to grab the music, fit it around the personality, and then sell it to their culture and then export it. So Rodney P and Bionic and them were like the first ones really to do that widely. And Ty, you know, I think he would be comfortable with me saying the kind of nerdy, slightly left field mentality was something that he made people proud of. You don't have to be a rude boy. You don't have to be a gangster. You don't have to be on the roads. You can be book smart. You can be, as he said on his first album, awkward. You know, and he had a charm about him. I think anyone who owns their personality will be able to shine. And he owned every aspect of who he was. And one of the first artists to come out of Nigerian culture and be in the hip hop thing before Afrobeat and before all of that thing made it more of a valid thing. So, you know, he laid down foundations and made it better for the next generation coming through. But there is a price you pay if you pave the way. I always say the person who cuts through the forest gets all the cuts. And then the person comes before, after them can follow the path. So, you know, that's why we give back. Because if it wasn't for them, the artists that you appreciate now, the J Husses, the gigs, all these have taken it further, but someone had to start the thing.
100%.
And Ty is very much part of that.
Exactly. Hence why you're having the event that you are.
Absolutely.
On the 17th of August. So how long has this event been in the making? How long does something like this take to do?
Right. I'm going to give my shouts out to Scandus, connoisseurs of hip hop. He's a testament to drive and tenacity, because it's 5 years that we're celebrating Ty's birthdays and his transition, and I've only come on board this first year now to support the 5th anniversary, because Scandus and a handful of people have really just kept it going, you know, and I just wanted to bring another dimension. And my biggest worry sometimes is that we don't have the a consistency. Sometimes we lack consistency. You know, first year With Daya, second year, cool. Third year, nice. Fourth year, and it starts to get a bit vague and hazy. And I think we have to renew any relationship. You have to renew it, whether it's a marriage, friendship. You know, you have to just check in. How are we doing? And no one's getting any younger. So a big part of it was, how do we create a rite of passage so that when our artists do transition, we know how to celebrate them. We know how to support people who feel the loss, and we know how to amplify the music. So it is for Ty in the 5th year to let him know that not only are the people who love him there, we've got new people.
Yeah, exactly.
And they'll tell more people. So that's how legacy lives.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the big driver, to really scale the event up. So I've come on board to say, listen, let's do it bigger. Let's get those who were there to come back. Let's amplify this. The film is very much about how do we use the new dynamics of short filmmaking, digital culture, social media reach in a way that wasn't available before. To kind of get that symbol in the sky for Ty, for people to go, let me just click on that streaming platform and listen. I might like it, I might not, but you now know about it. Yeah.
So, because there's 5 short films, right?
That's right, yeah.
Right, okay. So are these by all different 5 filmmakers? Is it that way, or...?
What excited me about getting involved in the project? So Scandus is like, Fusion, I want you to host the event. I got a text message and I was like, bro, you're going to have to call me. Because, you know, it's like, I'm a whole movement. I'm just like, I'm an all-in human being. I don't do things by half measures. And I said to him, I'm not going to go on stage and talk. I want to give my everything to whatever I participate in. So I dreamt up the idea of doing 5 short films to celebrate 5 albums. And my thing was, let's go through the artwork. Ty paid a lot of care and attention to the aesthetic of his craft. So when you start to do that, you start to see people like Benjamin Ochenche, who I mentioned earlier, who built a whole sculpture for a special kind of fool. He carved a sculpture and that was photographed and that ended up as the artwork.
Wow.
Who is doing that in 2025? Making a physical giant sculpture to tell a visual story. So album artwork's iconic. People like the Stevie Wonders, the Marvin Gayes, you know, even Nas's Illmatic. These are memorable covers. So I thought, let's just tell a fantasy story of how these album covers came to life.
Oh.
Could we reimagine how we ended up with that final image and make these short films soundtrack to Ty's music? And in the new era we're in, where we can pull things apart and recontextualize them, can we make something no one's ever heard before with the things we've heard before? And I love a challenge like that. So I have made the films. I've been using the technology, my stories, my music production skills, and my love and knowledge of Ty's music. And my team, which is called Prompt Response, have been working with me from the media side, with Rishma, the business side, because we want Ty's music to be streamed and heard. So Lekan's working with us on that. And George Malmesbury, who's part of my team for Super Organic, is making sure that when the film is finished, it has that polish.
Yeah.
So it sits there as quality. So we deal with the old and the new, but always quality in the middle.
Wow, you've been busy. Because it's not easy.
I'm a big kid right now. I'm a big kid. I didn't even sleep last night because I'm working on the film. And I remember, like anyone who's listening to the radio right now, when you love something, time is secondary to what you're doing. You get into flow. Yeah, I think it was Einstein who said, like, you know, if you're upset or you're miserable, time goes slow. If you're in love, like an hour will feel like a second or a minute. So I was just up all night editing, crafting and making, because we need to be in joy. We need to be in flow. And I think a lot of the time when we look at traditions of mourning, it's sorrow. Yeah. It's sadness, it's hurt. But you only hurt because you love someone. If you didn't love someone, I know nothing. You know what I mean? They're gone. Yeah. It's you know, for some people, loss can be relief. But when you lose someone, don't lose why you love them. Yeah. Embody that. When they leave the physical, grab a hold of all of that energy and see if you can redistribute that. Yeah. You know, so our team were very much rooted in the idea that we've gone off to work in film, media. I do a lot of strategy work. And I'm like, but we all came from hip hop. So let's use all of our skills and come back and water the root. Yeah. Because if you water the root, everything will grow from it. And if we can do that more, our work isn't in vain. Like sometimes I feel kind of funny being grown in UK hip hop. Like I made a song called Groundbreaker, Big and Bashy. These are songs that, as far as I'm concerned, you know, we kicked the door off. You know, we supported Ludacris, we supported Ja Rule. Amazing. You know, we were part of that thing. Yeah. But if you can't live that now, then you're losing energy. So my excitement is in the present. So this film is like, for me, being 18 in the studio with my MPC 2000 drum machine and a head full of dreams.
So we need to make sure everyone is there.
Yes.
To see it.
Absolutely.
Like, let's talk about the practical elements of it. So it's on the 17th of August.
Yes.
And where is it?
It's at Brixton Blues Kitchen.
Which is a lovely venue
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Lovely venue. Do people need to get tickets?
We've done a very special thing. Like, the excitement of being here has kind of driven us to action. So we've released the tickets today, and it's Pass the Torch for Thai 5th anniversary, and we've released 50 tickets at £5.
Okay.
And it is really just our promise to people. Listen, it isn't about cost of living. It isn't about VIP. It's your presence is the present. Grab those early tickets, and we also have pay as much as you can. So if you're doing nice in these times, make a donation. It goes to Brixton Soup Kitchen, which is one of Thai's favourite charities or organisations. Shout them out. And if, times are tough, then love is your currency. You just come with what you can, but just bring a smile and get ready for a little two-step. We've got a fantastic lineup, DJs, artists performing, and I love a story, so I will be telling stories and inviting stories.
Right, so in terms of the structure, are we starting off with the film, then going into performances? And
I'm wrestling with that. I really, we're still wrestling with that. I believe what I would very much envisage is the film, the performance, the conversation to be a living sharing. So, the films are very, very short. So I believe they'll bookend each part of the show. Yeah. But for anyone who needs to rock up on a Sunday early and get back home, we might do a sneaky, quick screening of the film. Okay. So my thing is just caring. Like, there's big people got children and responsibilities. Yeah. So we may do a sneaky, quick screening to start things off. Yeah.
And children are welcome to come.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
absolutely.
always good to know.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and also the time you've put into this. It sounds amazing. You've also given us so many gems as well. Just leave us with what this process has kind of like reminded you about life, taught you about life, that you want to leave us with.
Be grateful for the present. We talked about the weather. We talked about people we love. We talked about the culture we love. And I know Thai from when I was coming up as a youth and in the music. And when you grow with people, you will fall out with them. You will have points of difference. You will go on your own journeys. But if someone crosses your mind, pick up the phone.
100.
Go and see them. I call intuition inner tuition. Like, you learn yourself. And I tell you, anyone listening now knows there was a time they knew to call someone, to reach someone, they didn't do that. And you have to live with that reality. So for me, the last time I saw Ty, we was at Brixton Culture Archive, and he was selling his last album, and we're big people just sitting there, and I just said, you know what, that's my guy. We've had our ups and downs, and I bought the album off him, and I said, can you sign it for me? Because I'm always going to be a fan of people who love the culture and live the culture. And sometimes we just go on too big sometimes, like, I don't want him to sign the thing, like, I'm a big man now. And it's like, you know what, no, you made art, and I'm blessed to know the artist.
100.
So just humble yourself, be grateful, and the blessings flow through that. So I have nothing but joy ahead for the event in August for Thai. And can I shout out the artists as well? A few of them. Yeah, please do. Yeah, it is really about all of them, like, giving their flowers to Thai as well. Definitely. So Eska is just an absolute queen of like soul and funk and jazz. So she'll be performing some music in tribute to Thai as well. Scheme, Deptford Don, original UK road rapper. Like, a lot of them look up to him for the work he's done. So he's performing. Watusi 87, conscious lyricist, he's going to be performing as well. We've also got Tremendous from Birmingham, lyricist, poet, just a metaphor queen. Apex Zero, who's coming through very much with the ancestral energy, drummer, warrior, storyteller type vibes. Carl Hines, who's an entrepreneur of the culture, again, raised up in the same area as Thai. Shouts out to Archer and the Freshers crew, again, pushing the boundaries as a producer and an artist. DJ Maintain is also selecting as well. And we have just many other people passing through, some surprise guests. And I will be master of ceremonies, making sure the vibes are lovely.
It's sounding like a Sunday service, exactly what you need on a Sunday. Uplifting, lifting.
Yeah.
It sounds brilliant. You know, one thing I haven't asked, where do people get tickets?
Right, it's on Eventbrite.
Okay.
Yeah, so pass the torch for Thai and the Eventbrite. If you just type in BMT Culture Hub, it is the event on there now. So just type that in on a Google search, it will come up. That's our platform, and just go and grab your tickets. If you know him, show love. And if you don't, go look up Thai's music. There's many Thais out there, but there's only one Thai from the UK
Very
who
easy
raps.
to find. First one that comes up.
Yeah, find him and appreciate love him, and we hope to see you there.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you so much. Wishing you all the best and continue just spreading the love.
I appreciate
I love it.
Hope to see you there as well.
Thank you.